Hello, this is Outside the Overton Window with Selwyn Duke. And today I want to talk about the mainstream media's Herschel Walker Khan. Now, as most of you probably know, there's a Senate race down in Georgia, as well as a lot of other places. And in Georgia, it's Raphael Warnock, the incumbent Democrat, against Herschel Walker, the Republican who's challenging him. Walker is an ex-football player, of course. And I guess somewhat surprisingly, because Georgia is a Republican state, Walker has been behind until the last couple of days in the polls. And the mainstream media are doing everything they can to try to get Warnock, their man, past the finish line because, of course, the mainstream media have become the Democrats' public relations team. They're attacking Walker 6 ways to Sunday. They're trying to dig up a new scandal on him every couple of days. Supposedly, he paid for an ex-girlfriend's abortion. And then we heard that he was mentally ill at one time, and that supposedly disqualifies him. And the media say this even as they're supporting John Fetterman up in Pennsylvania, who had a stroke and is so cognitively impaired that he can't even function at all. He needs high-tech equipment just to function at a low level. But anyway, now one of the latest things I heard about Walker was the media said, oh, look and see what one of his ex-high school teachers has to say about his candidacy, as if that matters. Now, what is this mainstream media Herschel Walker Khan? Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that character doesn't matter like the Clintonistas did in the 1990s. And you young people, yes, they said that in order to justify their support for Bill Clinton, who was guilty of all sorts of misdeeds, even credibly accused of rape. They said character doesn't matter. No, character matters. But if you want to talk about character, well, Raphael Warnock has been accused of domestic abuse by an ex-wife. He has a checkered past himself. But not only that, what speaks worse of your character than holding horrible, destructive, un-American public positions, being for putting boys in girls' bathrooms, accommodating or facilitating the agenda that says that we're going to tell kids they can switch sexes just by willing it, supporting things like critical race theory, or indoctrinating kids with perversion in schools. What speaks more ill of your character than that? But that's not even the main thing. What you have to realize about a general election is that, believe it or not, you're voting for the party, not the person. Now, I know what some people are going to say. Many people will say, no, I vote for the man. No. I know you may believe that, but it's not true, and I'm going to prove it to you. Now, if I asked you who the most conservative, prominent Democrat is, what would you say? Well, if you would say Joe Manchin of West Virginia, go to the head of the class. But guess what? As of June 2nd of last year, Joe Manchin voted with Joe Biden 100% of the time. 100% of the time with radically left Joe Biden. Now, if I were to ask you who the most anti-Republican, turncoat Republican was right now, you might say Liz Cheney, and I'd agree with you. But guess what? As bad as Liz Cheney may be in many people's estimation, she voted with Trump 93% of the time. Now, I'm telling you this for a very important reason. All of these people, when they get into office, they vote with their party the vast majority of the time. That's what they have to do. That's why they're members of the given party. And if they don't do that, they're not supported by their party the next time around. And that's why I say you're voting for the party, not the person, whether you realize it or not. Now, the mainstream media don't want you to understand this, okay? Because they know the Democrats have nothing to run on. If you assess the Democrat agenda when deciding whom to vote for, well, there's a very good chance you're going to vote for the Republicans. So what they do, the mainstream media, is they use a sort of misdirection like a magician. They say, oh, look at the man up here. Look at the man. Don't look at the issues down there. Don't look at the issues. Or look at the man over there. No, not the issues. Forget about them. That's what they're doing. That's the Herschel Walker Khan. And this applies to every race in the nation, of course. And if you want to cast a wise vote, here's my advice, okay? You have to look at all these politicians as being tools. Don't get emotionally involved. Don't put your hopes in a politician too much because they often tend to disappoint you. And don't get so upset with a politician saying, well, he did this in the past, or he's a rhino, or whatever, that you lose sight of the fact that in the general election, you're voting for the party. In the primaries, you're voting for the person because then you're voting within a party. It's a very, very different thing. So view these people as tools that serve a certain purpose, okay? Your choice in the election is very, very simple because either the Democrats or the Republicans are going to control matters. They're going to control the houses. That's the way it is, okay? So you can choose to either build the Democrat tool shed or the Republican tool shed. It's as simple as that. If you like the Democrat agenda, like I said, open borders, boys and girls bathrooms, so-called transgender agenda, critical race theory in schools, porn in schools, then you vote for the Democrat. You give them another tool. If you don't support that, then you vote for the Republican. You build their tool shed. That's how you do it. Now, the media understand this. The people in the media are not rocket scientists, but they're involved in politics and they understand this. And like I said, that's why they want to distract people from that reality. Don't let that work. Now, I hope everyone will make this video go viral because not just every voter in Georgia, but every voter in the country needs to see this. You need to understand the basis on which you have to vote. Because again, remember, it doesn't matter if the candidate is young or old, fat or thin, good looking or not so, morally corrupt in his past or a paragon of virtue. It doesn't matter whether he's black or white or Asian or whatever, or Hispanic or male or female. Okay, he's going to vote with his party the vast majority of the time. That's simply how it works. So don't let that Herschel Walker con work on you. Don't let the media put one over on you. Understand the basis on which you're voting and cast a wise vote because your future depends on it. This is Selwyn Duke with Outside the Overton Window. And have a great day and God bless.